Hello, hi everyone. Welcome back to my channel Namaste SAP. If you have ever wondered how modern SAP applications are built on the cloud, or you have ever heard about something called SAP CAPM, also known as SAP Cloud Application Programming Model, but aren't sure what it really means, then this video is just for you. Today, I'll explain what SAP CAPM is, why it's so important, and how it helps developers build enterprise-grade cloud-native application work faster, and what are its key building blocks like SAP CDS, SAP HANA, and integration with Fiori and S4HANA. By the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of SAP, like how SAP CAPM simplifies the lives of a developer. So let's get started. In this video, I'll be covering this following topic like what is SAP CAPM, why we use this, major building blocks, integration with SAP technologies, SAP S4 HANA, and as for SAP Cloud SE. So, to begin with, so let us see what is SAP CAPM. So, SAP CAPM isn't a product that you can install. Instead, think of it as a framework structured way, a set of tools, languages, and libraries that SAP provides to help developers quickly build enterprise grade cloud native applications. It is like SAP's golden path, a best practice approach to build, deploy, and scale enterprise app efficiently. CAPM combines SAP technologies like CDS, Core Data Services, like we use tools like SAP Web IDE or SAP Business Application Studio, SAP HANA, the technology that we use, with open source technologies such as Node.js and Java. So basically, you can use modern programming tools and stay within SAP's best practices. It's a full stack development approach, meaning you can build the backend services, data models, and even the UI all within the same framework. So coming to the next question, like why we use CAPM? Why do we even need CAPM basically? In traditional enterprise app development, developers spend a lot of time writing repetitive code for data access, service definition, and configuration. CAPM removes all that complexity. It provides pre-built pattern, conventions, and ready-made feature so you can focus on your business logic, the part that really matters the most. So instead of worrying about how to connect your app to a database or how to expose APIs, you just define what you want and CAPM takes care of the rest. It's like saying I want a service for my order table and CAPM says done. Here's your order service. It is as simple as that. That's the magic of CAPM. It handles the tedious backend work so you can innovate faster. Coming to the next uh, part, that is the major building blocks of CAPM, the cloud application programming model. So imagine a diagram that's showing multiple blocks. Let me show you over here. Yes. So at the base is the CDS basically, the core data service. Then we have services, then APIs and the UI integration basically, the front end. So the core data service which I mentioned, which is marked over here as blue in color, it is at the heart of CAPM. We create .cds file for almost everything, whether it is for a creation of a service, whether it is for a database artifact, whether for defining any kind of annotation. We create .cds file in CAPM for almost everything. It is the heart of CAPM. You can think of a CDS as a language used to define your data models, the database artifact you can consider. For example, instead of manually creating database table, you can simply write few lines of CDS that defines your data structure. Let me show you. I have this. You can see over here on the right hand side, I have defined an entity box, and this entity box is having three fields, which has having key as ID of type integer, title of type string, and author, which is of type string. That's it. That's it. CAPM will automatically translate this into a real table inside your database, whether it's SQLite or SAP HANA. The best part is CDS is database agnostic, meaning it doesn't depend on any specific database. So in CAPM, there is a configuration file also known as package.json where we have to specify the type of database you wanted to use for your CAP project. If you mention that your CAP will consider SAP HANA as a database or SQLite as a database. So all those tables, the native SQL code will get generated automatically by the CAP engine. So that's the thing basically. Coming to next, which is the CDS compiler. So it is like a translator. It takes your CDS definition and converts them into runtime artifacts. For example, database table, service metadata, or OData endpoints. So depending on your configuration, CAPM decides where and how to deploy it. SQLite for local testing or SAP HANA for production. So it completely depends upon the configuration which is mentioned in package.json, and it will get converted or translated automatically by the CAT. That's the CDS compiler basically. So the third we are having is the service layer. So I have defined a service over here, right side bottom image, like service catalog service, and here I have defined an entity books as projection on my books. I'll show you everything in practical in my upcoming series. So this is how we expose the entity books as a service from CAPM. Once you have defined your data model, like the one that we did over here in the image, CAPM makes it super easy to create service on top of it. You don't need to manually write APIs. You just have to declare a service in CDS like this, like the one which I have shown you over here. And boom, you have now got a full-fledged auditor service ready, which can be accessed by any front end like SAP Fiori or even external systems. Depending on your system setup, basically, CAPM will generate Node.js based auditor service or Java based auditor service. That's the beauty of it. Same model, different runtime choices. Another important feature of this service layer is like OData. Generally, nowadays, majority of the SAP Fury elements support SAP like OData v4. So, if you want to degrade it to OData v2 as well, you can do that as well with the help of some adapter proxy of node modules. You have to install it and you can convert the same API and expose it as OData v2, because in smart tables, smart filters, they don't support OData v4. You have to downgrade it to OData v2. Then only that will work actually. That is only for smart table and smart filter. Yeah. Anyways, coming to next is the integration with SAP technologies. So CAPM doesn't work in isolation. It's designed to work hand in hand with other SAP tools as well. So let's look at few integration like SAP Business Application Studio, uh, BAS, or VS Code as well, like Visual Studio. We have SAP Web IDE. These are our development environment where we can design, build, and test CAPM apps visually and through code. SAP Fiori. So the front end basically. This is where your user interact with the application. CAPM actually provides ready-made auditor service that connects seamlessly to Fiori elements. Or we can create uh, custom application using freestyle application as well. We can connect with the CAPM, no worries. And again, we have SAP HANA as a database, as a service on cloud. This is often the underlying database. CAPM is optimized for SAP HANA in-memory capabilities, but you can still use SQLite during development. For your local testing, we can use SQLite, also known as file system-based database. Yeah. Together, these makes your application development faster, consistent, and cloud native. Okay. Coming to the next part is the integration with SAP S4 HANA and SAP Cloud SDK. So another great thing about CAPM is its ability to extend SAP S4 HANA. You can build custom extensions like new business logic or additional services without modifying the SAP S4 HANA code. That's what SAP calls clean core extensibility. I repeat once again, clean core extensibility. Also, CAPM integrates with the SAP Cloud SDK, which helps connect your application with other SAP or third-party system in SAP. So you can build extension, integration, or standalone application, all using the same CAPM framework. So let's quickly summarize what we have learned. Is a CAPM is actually a framework, not a product. It combines SAP and open source technologies. It's based on core data services CDS, which define your data and services. It automatically creates core data APIs using Node.js or Java. It integrates smoothly with Fiori, HANA, and S4 HANA. Also helps developers to focus on business logic, not on infrastructure or boilerplate code. So, in short, it's the fastest and cleanest way to build SAP cloud applications today. Last but not the least, I would say, like, if you are just starting your SAP journey, this framework is definitely worth learning. In my next video, I'll show you how to create your first CAPM project, defining entities, how to set up your CAP project in VS Code or BAS, or using CDS and run your first auditor service in just few commands. If you found this video helpful, please give a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon for more videos. See you in my next videos. Bye bye.